I look at veterans today that are coming back. Many of them don't just automatically go back to their old lives.
Many of our men and women who return from service suffer from post-traumatic stress syndrome that leads to many other issues in their life. And what we're wanting them to do is to gain their independence and to be able to transition back into society.
Many hear the word hero and they think that it means facing life on their own and dealing with their problems in a private way.
I spent a total of 18 months overseas altogether at that time. It was a scary ordeal because you never knew when you wake up in the morning if you're going to be alive or if you're going to be dead.
Some of us feel as though people are against us. Some of us feel very paranoid against civilization because they look down on us. And it's pretty rough. And myself, I look to drugs and alcohol to comfort me. And it ruined my life. It ruined my marriage and my life.
As of today, there's been more than one suicide of active duty or deployed Reserve or National Guard troops a day for all of this year. The Army has never had to deal with a suicide rate that high in the force. And most of that can be laid at all the problems that we throw lumped together under the term post-traumatic stress disorder.
Well, I started going to the VA because I started having some problems.
The need is not going to do anything but increase, at least for a generation. One of the things that strikes me is that we have been continually at war now for 11 years. And most of those guys, my sons have included, have spent more than half of those 11 years deployed to a combat zone.
As we work with veterans, we want them to create the lasting change in the lives that veterans so desperately need. And as they come to the Salvation Army, we give them that vision of hope. We are really ambassadors of hope, ambassadors of grace, giving them a great hope for tomorrow, regardless of their past or where they might be today.
I've looked at the veterans and how we have needed to do a lot of additional things for them. Once they've served us, they've protected us, they come home, they've lost the good jobs that they had before they left. Some of them have even lost marriages and lost their families. So it's like a restart for them, and they need all the assistance they can get.
And so the Salvation Army has built the Salvation Army Veterans Residence to help individuals who have experienced trauma, those who need assistance, those who need other veterans to come by them and help them reacclimate into the community, to have a place where they can come and call home.
It's called transitional living housing. And before guys get out totally on their own, they're going to be able to live in an apartment setting, but still in a controlled environment where they have case managers and counselors and a lot of support services available to them that they wouldn't necessarily had once they go out on their own.
One of the hierarchical needs that all of us have is a sense of belonging and unity. And no one understands that more than veterans returning home from service. Here at this new facility, the Salvation Army is allowing them to have an environment to where they're still going to have that camaraderie. They're going to be able to begin rebuilding relationships with their family and assimilating themselves to the culture and the society in which they live.
It was clear to me that the Salvation Army team really thought this out. This wasn't just let's quickly get a piece of ground and build a building and let's see and hope for the best. This is a well thought out, multi-year, multi-phase project that is certainly going to enhance the neighborhood and the community and be good for the city.
A place where they can sit on their own sofa. They have a clean bed, a place where they can prepare a meal. They can look out the window and see all of the developments that are happening in the downtown area around them and feel at home.
It gives us a second chance to become responsible members of society again. I've never had a place of my own. I wouldn't know what it would feel like. I've always lived with other people. So now I am offered a chance to live on my own and take care of my own home. And for a few years I can save some money, pay up some back bills, and get my life back on track again.
it's not just about getting people off the street, but it's actually finding useful places and things for them to do in society, in the community.
And I came here and went to detox. They treated me very, very nice with a lot of respect and dignity, and they didn't talk down to me, and I like that.
It's a 2-year program, get your life straightened out, get back on your feet. And I've been here since July, and I got nothing but good things to say about the program. It's helped me make some very wise decisions about my future. And the counselors, our caseworkers over there are excellent.
Last year, the Salvation Army provided over 250,000 individuals with 1 or more nights of lodging. 10% of our homeless are veterans in the state of Missouri. This particular veterans housing will go a long ways in providing permanent housing for those who were once homeless in our state and in our city.
The good thing about this is that there's going to be a continual safety net while the guys are going through the program here. And from what I understand, some of these units are even going to be available if the guys feel comfortable here and don't quite feel comfortable enough to go back out totally on their own. They'll be able to literally have an apartment in this building where if they need to talk to their case manager, if they need to talk to a counselor, they're going to be immediately available. There's not going to be any lag time about making an appointment, go to the Hope Center. So it's one-stop shopping for these guys.
I have a development background. So looking at blueprints, you know, you see the angles, you see the square feet, all that. But it's nothing like seeing the finished product, and this is great. I wouldn't mind living here myself. It is very, very nice. So I'm excited for the new residents when they move in. I want them to know that they've moved into a neighborhood, not just an apartment, and we want to be here for them, and we want to see them and make sure they're a part of everything.
I like to say that the Salvation Army has the relatively simple mission of saving the world, but we've come to realize that we can't do it on our own. And what this facility is going to allow us to do is to collaborate and work with the partner agencies to provide the needs that our veterans need at this time in their life.
The need is here. The VA and the Salvation Army have a tremendously effective partnership in St. Louis. The Salvation Army trying to house and provide other social services, the VA trying to provide psychological care and counseling, the medical care and counseling that goes along with that, and working hand in glove with the Salvation Army to be able to provide decent and cost-effective housing for these guys before they complete a course of treatment and are actually ready to go back into the community.
I learned a lot about myself since I've been in this program, the Salvation Army Harbor Lights program. And in a couple of years, I would like to have my own welding business, because I start training in January to go back to school to be a welder, because I already went to school for a little bit to be a welder, and I'm going to go finish off my degree. And I couldn't do that without the Salvation Army, because I'd still be out there on the streets doing whatever I was doing. So I thank God every day for when I wake up for the Salvation Army.
I know that I'll be family forever with the Salvation Army. I can always come back and visit. I'm an alumni of the Salvation Army. That means a lot to me. In fact, the captains have asked me if I could come back from time to time to share my story. And it makes me feel really good to be able to give back to the Salvation Army what they've freely given to me.